Daddy worked for the National Research Council on the corner of Blair and Montreal Roads in Ottawa, Ontario. There were many small houses built there during and after the war to provide housing for the NRC employees and their families. At the same time, the same types of houses were built on the Rockliffe airbase, which was situated just slightly northwest of where we lived. They were built for men and women of the Canadian Airforce and their families. Here's a little bit of trivia about the house that we lived in when I was 2. Daddy told me that when I was born, he planted a tiny lilac bush near the house. Years later, when the NRC wind tunnel in the area of Blair Road and Montreal Road was built, it was exactly where our house was. And even though the house wasn't there anymore, Daddy told me that the lilac tree still was. I didn't know this until a few years before Mummy died in 2001. When I found out, I went down Blair Road to take a look at the wind tunnel. I was disappointed because I didn't see the lilac tree, but it gave me a better sense of where I lived as a 2-year-old kid. Memory is a funny thing. Some things you can't remember, and other things are so vivid, it seems like they happened yesterday. I remember that it was a cute little house. I remember the frilly curtains in the kitchen. I remember one time standing on a chair in the living room while Mummy fixed the hem on a pretty pink dress she bought me to wear to the birthday party of the little girl who lived next door. I think her name was Anne, but I'm not sure, and she might have had a brother John as well, but again, I'm not really sure. My memory of being lost with Johnny is just 2 scenes. Really, that's all I can remember, but they were pretty vivid. One scene I remember is that we are surrounded by trees and I'm crying and Johnny is holding my hand and telling me not to worry and that he will look after me. And the second one is a clear picture in my mind of Daddy and at least one other man and a truck that had 2 doors at the back that opened outward. I remember one of the men, probably Daddy, stepping out of the back of the truck. I don't remember anything after that, but Mummy and Daddy filled me in with some of the details as I grew older, and here they are. The day that we 2 kids got lost, Johnny was 3 and I was 2. We had been playing outside in the backyard for a few minutes while Mummy was making our lunch. Mummy said that she had done this many times before and she didn't worry because Daddy had built a fence behind the house that enclosed the yard. But for some reason, on this particular day, we were able to slip away unnoticed while Mummy was busy making us each a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Maybe the gate wasn't closed properly, or perhaps we crawled under the fence. I'm not sure. I don't know who instigated this escape, but I'm thinking it was probably me. We must have scurried along at record speed because when Mummy came to get us for lunch, we were totally out of sight. Mummy said she was never so scared in her life and believes her hair started to turn gray at that moment. She immediately contacted Daddy. She feared the worst, that we were taken by some stranger, never to be seen again. I don't know if we had a telephone or if she just ran to tell Daddy at work. One of the men Daddy worked with had a good-sized truck and offered to help search for us. Mummy continued looking for us around the neighborhood while Daddy and the other men went down Montreal Road and Blair Road in the truck. Eventually, several hours later, they found us in a clearing in the woods off of Blair Road, down by the Ottawa River. I was crying and Johnny was holding my hand. I don't remember anything after getting in the truck. I never thought to ask Mummy and Daddy if they called the police. Anyways, Mummy said it was one of the worst days of her life, but when Daddy came home with us, it turned into one of her happiest days ever.